What's up? What's happening?
Oh, that's the vibes, buddy. Good choice.
Thanks, buddy.
Good choice. Jack is going to be our music selectionist guy, and I'm going to compliment or shit on whatever you come up with.
Yeah, I dare you, bro.
Yeah? Well, I dare you to fucking, I don't know, pick a bad song. I dare you.
I mean, I will. I got plenty. I got plenty in the chamber.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome back to DMT Reviews. I'm Sam Butler. He's Jack Anderson, and we're just bopping out to this Golden Hour by Vlad Gluschenko.
What a name.
I know.
Hell of a name.
So like, rate, review, subscribe. Subscribe to DMT. Don't miss this podcast. Check us out on bestwordscantina.com, where there are other podcasts such as The Shoot and Unemployed Commentators, along with DMT merch and a whole lot of other stuff, too.
Tons of stuff.
Tons of goodies.
Dope ass shit.
Tons of goodies. And keep an eye out for the Good Kids Dad City.
Yeah.
Coming Father's Day. It's just around the
Soon.
corner.
Yeah, Mother's Day just happened, so get ready for your dads.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
AKA the dads.
Yes. You know, get all the Daves up in your life.
We love the moms. We respect the Mom's Day. But on the Dad's Day, that's when the dads come out to play.
It's something special on the Dad's Day.
Something very unique. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not releasing a mom album. We're releasing a dad album.
No, we couldn't do it to the moms.
No.
No way. But to the dads, we're honored.
We're honored.
Honored.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now let's get into the show. What are we reviewing today, Jack?
Primal.
Primal.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it then.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the dance floor, boys.
Thanks, Donnie Cheats.
Oh, it should be louder.
Welcome to the dance floor, boys.
There
Thanks
we go.
again, Donnie.
Thanks again, Donnie Cheats.
Oh, man.
Yes, indeed, Primal.
Yeah.
Thinking of bad songs, Jack, real quick, because for Mother's Day, I went out of town. Let me just recap that real quick.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Because I watched a lot of stuff, and stuff that you haven't seen. I mean, we could review The Truman Show, sure.
Of course.
But who wants that?
I mean, maybe someday.
Yeah.
Maybe someday when we're vacant of Marvel shows and whatnot. You know.
Yeah, but I watched a whole hell of a lot this weekend, stuff that I'd never seen before. I watched The Truman Show, like I said. Very good. Enjoyed it.
It's a great movie.
A very abrupt ending.
Yeah.
But I like it. It fit because the show was over at that point.
Right.
It wasn't about the Truman life outside the show.
Yeah. Well, and I like how big they allow it to get in the external of Truman's life. Like this really is like a whole massive international operation, you know, maybe national operation, but like the giant dome, all that. Like I didn't see it going that direction. I thought it was like an experiment in maybe like a small town. No, like this is a world they've created for this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just so well done.
Yeah. Really good stuff. And Jim Carrey's the perfect vessel to tell that story.
Right. And it just like for his wife, Laura Linney's character, she's probably the most fucked up of all the characters in that, because she had to like do all that shit to maintain it, and it was so bad. And then what made me laugh was the product placements. They would just try and fit it in like it was natural dialogue. Like she was showing him that like peeler thing while he's doing the garden, and he's just like, okay.
I would argue since that movie has been made, they've gotten worse about that kind of product placement, you know?
Oh, Jack, I mean, that movie, talk about ahead of its
Speaking
time.
of Zevia, drink these sodas.
Well, speaking of Marvel Cinematic Universe, speaking of Yeti.
Yeti, iPhone, we got it all here.
We got it all here, baby.
We got the big sponsors.
No, but I really enjoyed that. Then I watched Big Fish. Have you seen that?
I have not, no.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
When I was really into Tim Burton stuff back with like Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands stuff back in like 4th, 5th grade, I saw Big Fish was directed by Tim Burton, but watching the trailer, it's the least Tim Burton film of all time.
Sure,
you know?
Yeah.
So
too many fish.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish, Jack. But it's super. The big through line is it's about Ewan McGregor as an old man, played by Albert Finney, and his entire life has been like him telling stories, these tall tales about his life, you know, fantasized and stuff, but they're not that far off from the truth.
Okay.
You know, and Billy Crudup plays his son, and he's just super fed up with his dad telling these stories. He's like, I don't know you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Gotcha.
And really what it came down to, it's just how powerful storytelling is in creating magic in stories and metaphor and all that stuff. I mean, talk about it speaking to me and probably to you, definitely. I mean, it was a very, very powerful movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
And then we watched a documentary.
Uh-huh.
And it was talked about on the Scrubs podcast, and immediately I was turned off. The title alone. Because you know me, you know how I feel about the tentacle creatures of the sea.
That is true. Yeah, you're not a fan. You're not a fan at all.
Not a fan at all. And this documentary is called My Octopus Teacher.
I have that on my list.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
I have done a full 180.
Really?
About my opinion of octopus. They still creep me out. Get them tentacles away from me unless they're fried.
Of course, calamari all day.
All day, AD all day. But no, so basically the story is this guy, he's a documentarian, he was just so fucking burnt out from, his divorce and this most recent documentary he did. And he was just like, I need a break. And he lives in this house off the beach of South Africa. And so he just gets into snorkeling.
How poorly does he portray his ex-wife?
She's not in it at all.
Oh,
That's how poorly she portrays her.
He nothings her.
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah, oof. Big oof. Yeah. But he starts snorkeling and he gets really good at it. And then he's diving down in the reef forest near his house. And he finds this octopus wrapped up in all these shells, as a protective device, and then it shoots off. And then documentary he made before was about these African trackers. They're like the best trackers in the world. And so learning the techniques that they taught him, he used that to help track this octopus. And he decided, how about I just see what happens if I visit this octopus every day and just for my own entertainment, just watch it live, And then he did that every day. He started documenting it, and he did that every day for its entire life cycle, which I didn't know they only live for a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought they lived for a while.
Giant octopus live for 5.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Life's crazy, dude. Flies live for 10 days or something like that.
Something like that.
What I mean?
And the smaller octopus live for 6 months. It's wild. I would have figured that they'd be one of the more resilient creatures of the sea.
Nah, because they're not from the sea.
No.
Okay? They are from the asteroid belt.
No,
it's a fact.
They're actually from the Fallen City in Lovecraftian horror. They're all Cthulhu heads.
Yeah, but I mean, that all originates from the asteroid belt. One, meteor comes flying in here. And
that is true. It is a cosmic deal. You're right. You're right.
Don't you worry. Everything's connected. It's all a triangle.
You're right. You're right. It's all a triangle. It's a circle triangle.
Circle triangle.
Like a square circle. But it was just wild because, absolutely, for the first 25, it's only an hour and a half, hour 20 something, and really, really good. But for the first half hour, I was just ugh, the whole time. Octopus. Ugh, freak me out.
Talk about exposure therapy.
Oh, yeah, trade up. And then just watching he develops this relationship with the octopus.
Swim with the squids, dude.
No.
Swim with the squids.
Maybe octopus.
Maybe octopus?
Definitely not squids.
What are you talking about, dude? Squids are
octopus
the
have
octopus.
personality. They have personality. Squids have eyes on one side of the head and on the other. Octopus have personality, or at least this one did, because over that course of the year, it just started falling in love with him. He'd just show up and it wasn't causing her any harm, and it eventually started hugging him, which that made me crawl, skin crawl.
Can you imagine just those tentacles wrapping around you? They're not suctioning yet, but if you make a sudden move, that thing's
yeah, and it's stuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's not getting off.
No. But no, it was very interesting to see how the octopus actually lives its entire it was mature when he found it, but from that point on, he was there until its death. And so she goes through quite a bit, and I'm not going to spoil any of it because you got to watch it. But
of course, I do.
You will
really
enjoy
do.
it. You really will.
Nice.
And
because I've wanted to watch, and I've heard a lot of people recommend it, but it's one of those things where you see it on your list, and it's you've worked all day, whatever. You look at it, and you just go, I'll do it, next week or whatever.
Yeah.
This is a good endorsement. This is what I want to hear.
Yes, indeedy. So there was that, and then last night my sister threw this on because she has Peacock, and it's a Peacock original.
Peacock, boo.
I know, but I don't know, Jack. This show,
but still, they're assholes.
I know, it's really fucking scummy.
Yeah,
just give it for free. Make us watch commercials. Just make us watch commercials.
I want my life to be as convenient as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. But it's called Girls 5 Eva. And
I seen an advertisement.
yeah,
for this,
so it stars Busy Phillips, Paula Pell, Sarah Bareilles, and I don't know the actress's name, but she played Angelica in Hamilton. And they're all like a Spice Girls kind of group.
Nice.
And they're being brought back together because a rapper sampled their music, and so they just started booming in popularity. It's so funny. It's produced by Tina Fey and Robert Cruikshank, I think is his name. He's always Carlock.
Yeah.
Robert Carlock, because he's always attached to her projects, 30 Rock, and they write together. And it got to a point, I didn't watch any of the credits or anything, but like so much of the humor in it, it's created by another person, but the humor in it, it's so Tina Fey that I'm like, is this a Tina Fey show? And they're like, yes, it is. I'm like, it makes sense.
Got it.
Because it's so smartly stupid. You know, it's like Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. So smartly stupid. Dumbest shit ever. Like the lyrics are so dumb and hilarious that they have for the songs they make up, but it's done in such a smart way, executed in such a smart way that you can't help but love it.
Sure.
So I absolutely love that show, and if you ever get the opportunity to get Peacock, that's the show to check out. Because we like ripped through most of season 1 last night.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a binger.
Yep. And then on the plane ride home, I watched Haywire, starring Gina Carano, Ewan McGregor, Michael Fassbender.
Gina Carano scandal noted. Just kidding.
I mean, and it was Michael Fassbender and
Gina Carano believes in QAnon.
Mikey Duggs. Mikey Duggs was in it too. And Bill Paxton played her dad. But it was really cool because it was like fresh off her MMA career. Because I remember reading about this.
Her first movie?
Yeah, I remember reading about this in a magazine, taking a shit at your house, actually, because I was reading it and it was all about like, showcasing her MMA abilities. Steven Soderbergh directed it, so he wanted to have it be mostly that kind of fighting. Like she barely uses a gun that whole movie. And if you want to see a movie where she fucks people up,
I very much do.
It's very good. Check it out. It's on HBO, only an hour and a half.
Cool. Okay.
And Ewan McGregor and Michael Fassbender play pretty good villains.
Yeah. Nice. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, those are good villains to put up against her. Yeah.
And so it's very. Oh, Channing Tatum was in it too. I forgot. Yeah.
Oh,
that was the big shocker. He was the first person to come in and meet her at a diner. I'm like, Channing Tatum's in this. Well, it explains why this either came out after or before Magic Mike, but him and Steven Soderbergh been working together for quite some time because they did Logan Lucky and both Magic Mike movies.
Damn.
But thing you will notice, the Foley sound effects for all the fights. He made an interesting choice by making them sound actually realistic, which makes it a lot quieter if you think about it.
Sure.
Because not every hit is like a whoop, like Fassbender comes at her with a knife and he's slashing. You're not hearing or any of that. You're not hearing any extra sound effects. It's just literally the sounds you would normally hear or you would think you would hear. Some of it was pretty, you could tell where they up the volume a little bit for the impact, but it was really good. Enjoyed that quite a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It made me bummed now that she's ousted from Star Wars.
I know. It's maybe it'll be fixed, you know?
Yes.
Maybe it'll be a James Gunn type of situation.
Yes. So I will I'll just give a broad 8 to everything.
Nice.
Because it was all just super good.
Solid.
I
like all that.
Yeah.
Like
so
all
check
that
out Big Fish, Truman Show, Girls 5 Eva, Octopus Teacher, and Haywire.
Nice.
Yes.
What a weekend of movies.
I know.
Had. Yeah.
I know. All stuff that's like you said, just been sitting on my list, minus the Octopus one. That I'm just like, I'll get around to it, but I don't know when.
Yeah.
I think the more enjoyable ones are when you see it and you have that thought and you just go, I'm pulling the trigger now.
Definitely.
Because then you get into it and then you're more focused on it because you're just like, this is actually unexpected. I was not expecting to watch this today.
Exactly. You're like, screw it. Let's, try and watch this thing and see if we can learn something from it.
Right. So, the other show too. My mom and I were watching it while John and Lydia were coming up and out of the house and stuff like that. And it's a HBO Max original starring Kristen Milioti called Made for Love.
Interesting. Oh, yeah. We were talking a little bit about this, right? It's the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because it reminded me a little bit of like how sci-fi comedy would be well done, well executed. I did not like how the first episode was told out of order to meet like Tarantino style, meet in the middle, like Memento almost. That device, I feel like it really has to serve a purpose. It didn't serve too huge of a purpose for this show. It could have been told linearly, but I forgive it. It's got Billy Magnuson, who's the dumb blonde guy from Game Night. And it's funny because it's like he either plays a dumb guy or a creep. Because
that's his skill set.
Yeah. Or God, he was a cop in something else.
He's a big dumb creep.
Yeah, big dumb creep. He's got Grinch lips.
Yeah, oh, geez.
Like that scene in the Grinch where he's like the smile's creeping up on his face, and it comes down to that point. That's Billy Magnuson's mouth.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
dumb creep.
It's got Ray Romano playing her
nice.
Dad, and he's very much in love with a sex doll.
Oh boy, I love it.
And Dan Bacadol. This is Ray Romano. Dan Bacadol's in it. Always hilarious.
I'll be Ray for the rest of the show.
No, Jack, you don't have a froggy enough voice.
I'll just act like I've seen these movies.
Deborah.
I like the show Primal. I'm a big fan.
No, this is Ray Romano. See, my voice is already froggy enough that I can do the impression pretty well.
I don't know about that.
See, you sound like Ray Romano as a Muppet. Nah, see, you don't understand.
This is Ray Romano as a Muppet.
You think you know Ray Romano? I know Ray Romano. I am Ray Romano. Deborah.
Can you imagine a Muppet of Ray Romano?
Stop
that
bugging
sounds
Deborah.
Like fucking Cookie Monster, like fucking animal or something. Just,
Ray Romano.
it's just,
I'm so offended by this.
Nom 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 Ray Romano. Nom 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 nom.
This is so offensive.
Wow, Ray Romano. Ma, stop bugging Deborah. Why'd you have to move in across the street?
like I love the main actress in that show for sure. What's her name again?
Kristen Milioti.
Milioti.
Yep.
But like Ray Romano is one of those actors where you're like, oh, he's in it. Oh, okay. Well, if you put her and him together, I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
thing,
it's a pretty great father-daughter relationship.
Yeah, I love it. And we saw he could play Dad, the Big Sick. He could play a dad.
Oh yeah,
great dad.
Oh yeah, except he's a piece of shit dad in this one.
Oh yeah, I mean, sex doll addict, all that different stuff. But
just a deadbeat dad the whole since she was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Go check it out. It's really good. I think that's it.
Yeah.
But Primal I watched a while ago.
Sure.
So let's get into it now.
Don't you worry, dude. I
just want to throw some recs out there.
Yeah.
Throw some recs out there.
No, hey, and also to those wondering, I got double Fauci ouchies, so we're getting there. And Joe Biden's got 2 tracker chips in my shoulders. So
well,
see where I'm going.
It didn't make you sick, so
I got this weird soreness like under my armpit. It's better today, but it's weird. Yeah. But
and just in the middle of the podcast, your heart explodes.
I mean, I've been kind of waiting for that to happen, like in random situations. I'm like, what if this is like a growth that just like I know is there, but I just want to be stubborn and not pay attention to. But I look at it, there's no swollen, there's no nothing. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is my heart expanding and growing in my rib cage. Just a.
Oh, okay, cool. You're like the Grinch, except it does have a breaking point, exactly. A popping point.
Yeah, I definitely can't bust out of the frame. That's very dangerous. But yeah, no, Primal. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I love it.
Primal started on Adult Swim a couple years ago, like 19.
I think so.
Yeah, so and then it only gave
fall of 2019.
Yeah, and then they finished it last year. It's from Genndy Tartakovsky.
It is definitely not finished.
Oh no, I mean the first season.
Of course.
Yeah, the first season was released in 2 parts over 2 years, Breaking Bad style. And it's created by Russian animation genius Genndy Tartakovsky.
You might know him from Samurai Jack. The original Clone Wars cartoons for Star Wars. Yeah.
And Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls.
That's right.
Yep.
Hey,
both of those were created by him as well. And
this guy like is Cartoon Network for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. And so for this, because I mean, you kind of, if you go back and watch the Clone Wars that he did, you can see. And Samurai Jack, because I went back and watched the first couple episodes of Samurai Jack after I finished this, because I don't think I've actually seen that series through, because I like anything like Avatar: The Last Airbender, I just didn't have access to it, but I just know it's fucking phenomenal.
Right.
And Samurai Jack came back, right? Didn't they do a revival season for a minute?
I believe so.
Yeah, in like 2015 or something. But Primal, ever since Jesselnick recommended it on JRVP, Junior Vice President. I was like, okay, well, I'm in. I mean, I already saw the trailer, and I was in from that, but now I'm really in. If the Jess Man is giving the recommendation station endorsement.
You're usually listening to that show, and you're listening to Anthony Jeselnik recommend these like really, prestigious books. These, he's a reader. He's a
voracious
novelist.
reader.
And then one day he gets on there, and he's like, I watched a cartoon where a caveman and a dinosaur fight dinosaurs and Ice Age animals, and that's all it is. And I am highly recommending this. And I was like, I have to watch this.
Yeah,
nothing will stop me from watching.
Exactly.
This. Yes.
And then when it finally got thrown on HBO, I was just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, let's boogie.
Because that's when HBO Max was happening when they threw that on there, and I was like, let's go. And I was shocked, baffled, delighted,
sure.
and really upset.
Yeah,
a lot sad. Yeah.
Now,
all the feelings, not a word spoken.
Yeah, not a word.
Not a piece of dialogue whatsoever.
We're talking the violence of Invincible with the, look of a Cartoon Network show.
Yeah.
But total, like Sam said, totally silent, because all we have is this caveman who's basically an spear who can throw. I mean, he throws a spear. He's super athletic, and he partners up with Fang, the T-Rex, who, again, is a T-Rex, can't talk. So this show's entirely grunts, roars, stomps, and music. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's viciously emotional.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the things that really triggered me a lot in a positive primal way was the water. Silence with waterfalls and just still water swooshing around is so peaceful and so relaxing. It's just, you can't explain it. It's just oh fuck, I like this scene, and I know something bad is going to happen. Really
something
soon.
bad is going to come bursting through those trees and fuck their day up.
God damn it! It's just like real life.
Exactly. And so, I mean, let's start from the top. Spear has a family, a wife and 2 sons, and
he gets killed. No, he doesn't.
No.
He goes out. First episode.
He goes hunting. Yeah, it's all like a DMT trip in the last few moments of his mind.
Of his life. It's 5 seasons of a DMT trip. Oh, how lucky would you be?
Oh, my God. It's like how they say pigs' orgasms last for hours. At a certain point, you're just like, this is too much good.
Cavemen DMT trips lasted for 5 television seasons.
Oh, wow.
Then they passed into the great beyond.
Yeah. But to them in their real life, it was 15 minutes.
That's exactly
15 minutes of dying.
Sorry, we spoiled the show, but
no, that's not at all what happened. No. But he goes out hunting and then comes back to find that his family getting eaten by this red T-Rex.
This Carnotaur type.
It was like a Carnotaur,
with the horn. It had it was a rhino T-Rex.
Yes. And so he is real upset. And I liked that they showed it in silhouette so that you didn't see how horrific it would have been to see the kids get eaten.
That being said, though, the silhouette had eyes.
Yeah.
It was almost worse.
It was like Samurai Jack animation. All right.
I just saw that it was like a kid's shadow getting thrown, but there were very clear white, sad, scared eyes as it's going into this T-Rex's mouth, and you're just like, why add the eyes? I get why, but you didn't need to.
I didn't need that. But that's why it was necessary. It's because that's really the whole thing about the show is it's put me in places where I never thought I would be mentally about situations like that.
Sure.
And I mean, I just can't get over how powerful it was. I thought The Revenant was powerful with how primal that was.
Right.
This, literally in the title, takes the cake.
Yeah. Again, going back to what we talked about last time with Invincible, it's just the things you can get away with in animation. I mean, they can be so profound so long as you take them seriously,
Yes.
So long as you execute a vision that you're trying to make a point, you're trying to, because that it's clear, and it's not like a meta, we're going to show what primal life is. It's we're just going to do a badass show like this. We're not going to put any we're not going to put any dialogue to it. We're not going to overbear this thing. We're just going to let it be what it needs to be.
And it needed a home on Adult Swim because I watched this little mini behind the scenes doc about Rick and Morty, and the head of Adult Swim, his number one thing, his only note was to make Morty more autonomous, because otherwise he was just kind of a whiny, drag-along character, and everyone would have hated him.
Gotcha.
That was his only note for the show. Otherwise, he wanted Justin and Dan to have as much creative control and just run wild with their ideas. Like, he is so fully supportive of the artists that work for Adult Swim, and that's how they can get away with some of the most out-there fucking shows. Like, there was one that's like... dream. It's like all about dreams, and it's super trippy. And I mean, I don't know how to describe it because of that. I mean, it's got great actors in it. Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite looking totally different. He looks more like Larry David in the 80s than he does like Uncle Rico. And then like Jimmy Simpson's in an episode. The girl from what is it? Rosa from Man Seeking Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Rosa Salazar. That's her name. But, so, okay, load, bitch. So he got to be able to do this with his entire vision totally in his control.
Well, and this is another thing, too. It's so simple that it can't not work in a sense. You know, it's so simple. It's like, how did nobody think of this before? And also, thank God no one did, because clearly this was the guy to tell this story.
Yeah, 100%. And so from that, he goes chasing after the dinosaur after murdering his family, and he's real upset. And he's chasing after the dinosaur. Meanwhile, we cut to Fang, who just hatched 2 new baby T-Rexes. And she's so over the moon. She's so happy. And then all of a sudden, you just hear a bunch of stomping, ground shaking. Then comes the Carnotaurus. And right behind him is a spear caught on its tail, ready to kill it. And that thing doesn't care. It just wants to eat. It just wants to eat. So it goes right for the babies because they're the most vulnerable. And Fang has to fight it, and then Spear has to fight it. And they team up, and Spear eventually brings it down, and they think it's dead. And then he's just so fucking heartbroken, just like on the ground in shambles, basically, because it's like, well, he did it, but that's not going to bring his family back. No. And the 2 little baby T-Rexes start coming up to him and like comforting him. And for a moment, he gets a glimpse of happiness. And then chomp, take it right away.
Innocence taken.
It was so much worse for the baby T-Rexes because they got chomped a few times.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal,
without a silhouette there. And so Fang's real upset, and then him and Spear have to she and Spear have to team up and kill the damn thing. And now they're just 2 heartbroken individuals.
Yeah. Two lost souls.
Lost souls.
Their families, their entire lives have been taken from them. What are they going to do in this primal world? I said the title. What are you going to do other than team up? You know what I mean?
It was really, they both just sort of slept together, and it was just like, what do we do now?
We need each other's backs, you know? And like, again, buddy movies, a formula for any good storytelling device. You know, you put these 2 characters together, you give them a bond that makes it authentic that they're working together. And then you have, obviously, the first 5 episodes are all about them kind of working out that relationship and figuring out what it means to be a fucking caveman and a T-Rex running around in a world of unprecedented evolution, by the way. Let's talk about that. But I mean, just
it
crazy.
is inconsistent.
Also, shout out, first moment of the show is him, I think he's Spear is going for fish. He's trying to spear fish, and then a massive crocodile attacks him. And I'm a big crocodilian fan.
Yes, indeed.
So you can see on the shirt.
Of course.
But,
I mean, where would you be? Where would DMT be without gorillas and crocs?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Where would I be without gorillas and crocs? I definitely wouldn't be the same person.
Yeah. So going into episode 2,
which also this show has gorillas and crocs.
It definitely does. It definitely has both. So it's definitely a DMT approved Jackie D. Sammy B.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
This show's a big win.
It's a hot wreck.
I'm gonna spoil it right now. 10 out of 10, not even a question.
Oh,
for me.
yes.
Yeah. Let's just throw that. Let's
well,
just get that done.
Just by sheer amazement that I had, I was like impacted by the whole time.
10 out of 10.
So episode 2, they're an odd couple.
Yeah.
It's a little slower, and it's a thing where it's like they're trying to coexist because Fang just keeps eating whatever food that Spear gets.
Yep.
And it's pissing him off.
I mean,
Pissing him off real
about
bad.
it, you know, the proportions of the Tyrannosaurus Rex versus the man are much different. You know, I consuming enough food for someone like me is plenty of work in a day.
But to
I can't
operate like
imagine.
a scavenger,
Oh
it's
my
just a
gosh.
real dick move. It's
Just
an
a dick.
apex predator.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. But she's bereaved. Okay,
Yes.
she lost her kid. She doesn't want to focus on
Yeah,
hunting, you know?
yeah, because Spear killed a boar. Fang eats it right away. And then they wind up in this situation where they're getting attacked by a bunch of snakes.
Lots of
A
snakes.
lot of snakes.
Lots of
Like,
snakes.
I thought I liked snakes. Apparently, Genndy Tartakovsky likes snakes a lot more because
snakes.
the snakes were outrageous in this episode.
Yeah. It was crazy when you mix. I mean, basically python vipers, right? We're not just talking about big snakes, and we're not just talking about venomous snakes. We're talking about venomous big snakes.
Big red snakes.
Exactly. And you mix those with a flash flood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Game over, man.
It's
Game
a
over.
mess, yeah.
So Spirit and Fang have to help each other out, and then Fang's like, you know what? I was in a pretty bad spot right there, buddy.
Yep.
I think I'll let you eat this time. So he lets him eat at the end of the episode.
You had my back.
She lets him eat. Yeah. Oh, look at this. He turns like full gorilla. He's screaming that.
I love it. No, he definitely is the like Neanderthal caveman. You know, he's definitely that more ape than man, but what works is he knows how to use the tools and stuff like that. Which I love because of animation. Like you can create that character fully and authentically through that. You know, what if they had to go get fucking, I don't know, some meathead to go play this guy? Again, it's just like you're gonna inherently want to bring too much humanity to it. Yeah.
Plays him.
And with an animated character like that, you can make him an ape. You know what I mean? Like you don't he has human moments, but Fang has human moments too. The idea isn't about man's evolution. I mean, it kind of is by the end, but it's so much more about just life in general, you know?
And none of it is easy.
No.
Regardless
and we
of the
need
era.
all of each other. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we might have all these creature comforts now, but these problems that they're facing have not changed one iota in the millions of years of evolution, or tens of thousands of years.
the fundamental equation they're trying to solve is always the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's really just survival at the end of the day. It's why we can have the privilege to bitch about shit.
Right.
We can complain about DC and Warner Brothers all we want. It's because we don't have this kind of stuff pressing down on us. So we're bored. We have to come up with new adversaries, new problems. So that's like all this stuff where it's like, how can people just like decide to get mad about this stuff? Well, they're bored. They're not
bored,
being hunted or trying to survive or searching for food.
Their genes are wired to do this.
Yes.
Why do you think we're so reactive to stories?
Why are we so prone to conflict? Because that's what we know. That's what
in our
creatures
genes.
know in general. I mean, what was that? Feed, fuck, and flee.
Something like that, yeah.
That's what you said, right?
Did I? That sounds like
You
something
did,
I'd say.
yeah. That's how animal primary functions are. They feed, fuck, and flee. That was a Jack Anderson.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna make that a T-shirt now.
Guess who
Since
that
you,
just surprised? Jack Anderson.
yeah.
I love
So
it.
now it's a definite original idea. You might have, I was like, you probably got that from Joe Rogan or something. Nope. If you forgot about it completely, then you made it up.
I just totally
That's a
off
T-shirt.
the cuff.
Oh no,
fucking flee.
it was feed, fight, fucking flee.
That makes sense. Yeah,
They
yeah.
fight. They fight.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what we do, dude. That's what this whole show's about.
yep. Just get a black T-shirt with green letters on it.
I love it. Oh,
There you go.
I want it. I want it.
Green T-shirt with black letters on it. I mean, more to your color palette right there.
Of course, sure. I mean,
There you go. There you go.
I like the black with the green subtlety, though. You know,
Yeah.
There's something to that.
Let's get on it.
Yeah. We're gonna make it happen.
BestFriendsCantina.com. Keep an eye out.
Now listen here, everybody. Episode 3's a rough one.
Right,
okay?
episode 3
Let me
was
tell
the
ya-
hardest thing to watch.
Let me tell you about one of my, because I've seen all these episodes multiple times. Episode 3, I had an experience I watched with my friends Jake and Lauren, who I watch a lot of stuff with. Right? They love things and they like watching them. Right?
I'd be worried if they didn't love things.
Exactly. And that's why I like them, you know? They got good taste. And so I'm watching Primal with them. Episode 3 of Primal pushed the boundaries a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it really it got to a point for me where I'm just like, how dare you?
Yeah. And we're not saying this is like offensive and gross. No, it's just so emotionally tolling.
Yeah.
With a character who isn't really part of the show.
No, we spend like the first half of the episode following this old mammoth as its pack is that what they're called? Pack of mammoths?
Herd, whatever.
Pod.
This is the classic
herd,
backpack in the back of the pack mammoth. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And so it's old. Its days are long behind it, and it's trying to keep up, but the herd has to keep moving, and it falls further and further behind. The storm gets
snowing.
worse and worse and worse, and then it ends up in this valley with these two cliffs on either side, And all of a sudden,
No, this is like what Sam's describing to you right now, by the way, is not like a quick 30-second montage.
No.
This is like 10 minutes.
yeah, and you see it struggle, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, this I want to emphasize. This is a long part of the episode.
It really is. And you really feel for this mammoth, and then all of a sudden, your boy Spear and our girl Fang just jump out of nowhere and kill the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you sat there and you're just like, I hate you guys.
I hate you guys. You guys are monsters.
You guys are assholes.
How dare you, okay?
And
The snake should have eaten you.
yeah. And I mean, the thing put up a pretty good fight, but ultimately too old.
Too old.
And
Not a chance.
they broke it down to just about really everything they couldn't haul.
Yeah.
Made a sled out of the bones.
Yep.
And Fang was pulling.
Yeah, Spear got some mammoth clothes, you know?
Yep.
He got a little
And,
mammoth jacket.
They took the tusks though, Jack.
I love how like they kill it, and again, animation. I just love the things you can do with it. They kill it, and they get the meat. It's all set, and then he takes the fur and the skin and just like a blanket, whoosh, and like
Yeah, it's not like jagged or shaped like the appendages or anything like that. It's a blanket now.
it would be annoying if it was like
It
that.
really would. Well, it's like Red Dead Redemption. When you skin an animal, you don't want to see what actually goes into it. You just want to see.
Yep. Hey, he used all of it.
Yes,
He used that whole
which
mammoth.
was good.
Yeah,
very good.
That's what makes humans proud.
And then they move along,
Uh-huh.
and then the storm ends, and the herd circles back.
Rut row Scoob.
Oh, rut-row indeed, my friend. Zoinks.
Zoinks. Yeah.
Zoinks, Scoob.
Zoinks. Where's my glasses? It's
Where's
all
my
the stuff,
glasses?
okay?
Jinkies.
Jinkies. Yeah, whatever Fred fucking says. It's happening.
Hey, gang.
Hey, gang. The gang of mammoths is back. And it is scary.
And they see that what has befallen
Yeah,
their old elderly comrade,
Backpack in the back of the pack.
and more so, the tusks.
Yep.
The tusks are gone,
Not good.
and so they begun hunting. They're hunting the hunters.
Yeah, I didn't know mammoths hunted, but guess what? They really do. And
They
you
do.
don't- You
'Cause
don't
they
want to be
take things
hunted by them.
personal.
Yeah, mammoths are like the mafia.
And I mean, yeah, just like we can get through this review fairly quickly because it is such a visual show that these events that we're describing take place very drawn out.
Yeah.
Like the pacing
art.
fits and does more justice than we ever could with this review.
You got to eat this thing up like a graphic novel. Like it,
Yes.
it stays on shots so that you can appreciate the art, so that you can appreciate the drawing and just the moment and the situation and the environment. Like even in a white storm, it still is like very visually stimulating.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Boo!
I was traveling, man.
Not an excuse, bitch.
It
on.
kind of is.
We got 4 shows back to back to back.
Fair.
Someday. At
Someday.
some point. Someday we'll be done with this, and then we'll have 10,000 things to do.
We'll never be done with this.
Never be done.
Never
dude.
be done.
Never be
Be
done.
on our deathbed.
Yeah. Stop yawning. Just kidding. Drink coffee when you're dead.
Yeah. Just give me
It'll
a
wake
coffee.
you up.
Give me a coffee enema in my casket.
If you pour coffee down someone's throat as they're dying, they'll wake up.
They'll wake up.
They will happen. you buy about 10 minutes.
Oh my God, he's coming back.
You buy about 10 minutes of a caffeine high every time you do that.
Ah.
It's not sustainable.
It just intensifies their DMT trip when they're dying.
And that's what happened to Spear.
Yes, that's the whole show.
Is how coffee was founded. Anyway.
Anyway, Spear and Fang, they're going along. They're enjoying their provisions.
Right.
And eventually, the mammoths catch up. And it is a showdown for the ages.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. Yeah, one T-Rex and caveman don't stand up very well to a mass of probably 6, 7, 8 mammoths.
All in their prime.
All in their prime, all very bulky beasts, behemoths, if you will. And yeah, I mean, what's cool is we're getting into the place. They've done it a couple times at this point, but now Spear rides Fang. It's pretty cool. It's fun.
Yes.
Riding T-Rexes should be a human dream. We should clone T-Rexes so that we can ride them. That's beside the point. He goes, they fight. It doesn't go very well, dude. The mammoths kind of fuck him up. But then I forget exactly what happens, but
Spear realizes they want the tusk.
that's right. And then he takes it and he starts, ha, 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 and like swinging it back and forth. And that's when like they're like staring at it.
Yeah, they're just looking at it. And yeah, he was using it as self-defense because
Yeah.
he was cornered.
Yeah. I mean, so long he's going, ha, 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 ha,
And it's just like you see the mammoth eyes just going back and forth following the tusk. And then he like realizes that and then gives it over
gives
to
it
him.
over, yeah.
And then they take it and they fuck off.
Yep. And that's how you get it done.
That's how you make friends with tusked and trunked animals.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta be respectful.
You gotta be respectful. You gotta make sure that you don't take the ivory poacher.
Winston, hey, buddy.
This is not what I want right
I know it's been 4 days without me. You're all a whirl.
now.
I guess that's one thing. Watching the second half of the season, because I've only watched the first 3 multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, and 5. I did not watch the 4th one, the Blood Moon one or whatever with the bats.
My nightmare.
Multiple times,
Yeah.
yes. And but watching it, I'm like, oh, this is very much man and dog relationship. You know, and it's like I can totally fully understand how this bond is formed and how when it gets to be that point at the end of episode 5, beginning of episode 6, well, all of episode 6, I'm like, oh, I would 100% do this for Winston. 100%.
Sure.
I would go toe to toe with all the jackals in the world.
All the jackals. All the...
To keep Winston safe while he nurses up his wounds.
Of course.
But
How could you not?
episode 4,
Episode 4 did.
Terror Under the Blood Moon, Jack.
Yeah, my nightmare, like I said, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple things
With
to know
Tom
about
Kenny.
me. I don't like...
SpongeBob playing the one little... Yeah, that's the first little
apes.
bit of dialogue is that one guy. Yeah.
Does he even... does he even say something? What does he say?
He says a couple things, but like very, very vague, like one-word things.
Sure.
From what I recall. Because, like I said, it's the only one from the first half I've only seen once. It's got a 9.0 on here, though.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And
It's a
so
really good
I don't
one.
really quite remember it too much.
Yeah, so basically we start with Spear and Fang. You know, they're running for their lives as per usual. And they run through this tall grass. Do they run into the tall grass? No, they're running away from something. Well, it's a massive pack of velociraptors, like a stampede of velociraptors. And then they do the Jurassic Park 2 thing. They go into the grass. Oh my gosh, you don't put velociraptors into the grass. You know what I mean? You can't see them and they're too fast. Eventually, Fang and Spear get out of this situation after spearing many, many, many of these velociraptors that are just jumping and flying like fish in the fucking sea. And they get out, they go. And there's like this weird ceremonial kind of ground, like not necessarily. It's more
like Arches National Park kind of rock faces.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, but still
like it
desert.
looks natural, but like it looks like it could have been built too.
Yeah.
You know? And there's these monkey people, you know, like the SpongeBobs of the show,
Basically.
And they start doing their hooting and howling. They seem to be very afraid because the sun is going down, and these monkeys don't like when the sun goes down. Okay.
Well, at least not at this point of the month.
Yeah. No, they do not. Things get very red. As the moon, I believe, is eclipsed or something happens.
I think so. I think it's an
red.
eclipse because it's the blood moon.
And all the monkeys go hide for cover, and they scream, and they are afraid. And Fang and Spear are like, what the fuck's going on?
What's the deal, dog?
Then massive, red, terrifying bats come flying. I mean, I'm talking big bats.
Oh, yeah. And you think it's just one initially.
Yeah. They're bigger than the T-Rex.
Yeah. Yeah, you just think it's one, and they're red bats with green eyes. I mean, just about as vampiric as he possibly could be
they're
without
devil
it.
bats.
Yeah, without it being in Transylvania, you know?
Yeah.
And they get into a scuffle.
They do.
They kidnap Fang.
Yep, they kidnap Spear. They get Spear. They try to kidnap
Oh,
Fang.
no, Fang gets kidnapped in the
And
next
this
episode.
and then these next 2 episodes really summarize why I love this show so much. So in this one, I think Spear ends up, going and saving Fang, but because of that, they get Spear and they take Spear away, and Fang tracks these bats. And
Yeah, to the bottom of this, like,
enormous.
it's, what's that one called?
It's like a plateau.
Yeah, it's basically like that famous one.
The Devil's Tower.
Yes,
Yeah.
Devil's Tower. It's like Devil's Tower. And she gets to the bottom, looks up, and there's a cave at the very top that they've taken Spear into.
Yep. The
And
bats.
she has no idea how to get him out.
T-Rex. I mean, you want to talk about alligator arms? What about T-Rex arms?
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms are useless, okay? How they evolved those things, and also how you cannot look at those things and not go, wow, dinosaurs are birds. How is that not obvious? You know
Obvious.
what I mean? Anyway, so how does she get up there? Oh, she plays dead. She plays
Yes,
dead.
that's right.
And she
Lets one of them take her.
She lets them like carry her up and bring her in, drop her on a pile of bunch dead like rhinos and mammoths and all different animals and
Monkeys, absolute monkeys.
lots of monkeys, lots of the monkey people, and she stands up. She's like, okay, no bats. Okay, clearly something's going on here. So these bats are bringing something to something, right? They're bringing these things to something. So she goes and she investigates, and sure enough, there's these cocoons all over this Devil's Tower. Cocoons abound. There's too many, and she's like, oh geez, well, I'm gonna start sniffing these, Within about 2 or 3, she finds Spear. She
rips it open.
Rips it open. He's knocked out, cocooned, and then all of a sudden that comes into play. Now there's a giant spider involved. Okay?
Yes.
I don't like bats. I don't like spiders.
Yeah, this was your worst episode.
This is my worst episode. It's actually one of my favorites, though.
I know.
In hindsight, it's a great one, but wow, yeah, they picked my big 2 animals that I don't like seeing.
Yeah,
And,
see, now they got to get Octopus and Moss in season 2, teaming up.
But yeah, so the spider comes in, fights Fang, kind of almost beats Fang, but Fang's able to stop it. Does Spear wake up and help? I don't think so. I think Fang kills the spider.
I think Fang kills the spider.
Fang kills the spider, gets it done, wakes up Spear. They use the spider's butt rope to escape and, climb down, whatever the word is for the zip lining or whatever. And the bats are mad. Oh, man, the bats don't like that this spider has been killed. Clearly, there's a conspiracy where the bats work for the spider. Okay, there's this big, huge thing going on.
It's like if Aragog from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets actually had an army of bats instead of his own spider children.
It's pretty scary because those are aerial,
Yeah.
And a lot of bats start coming. When they hear this, they get very angry, and they just fly over the hills in masses that would make me kill myself. Immediately in that moment, I'd take the spear and I'd stab I'd say it's not worth it anymore, Fang. I'm sorry. You should do the same.
I'm falling on it.
Yeah, for me, this one is where I tap out, right?
Yeah.
But Spear's a much braver sapien than me. So they go, they ride, they go back through this area with the monkeys and the Stonehenge. They're killing bats the whole way there. I think the bats get a monkey or 2, but then Spear has an idea, and then Fang and Spear take a turn. They go back into the tall grass.
Go back to the grass.
And these bats are like, we got these motherfuckers.
I remember
we got them.
this.
And then these velociraptors start just fucking up these bats, taking them down. Spear and Fang ride off into the sunset.
Freaking genius.
Beautiful stuff. And it starts this
nature. I used the nature.
I used the nature
to destroy the nature.
And it's my favorite 2 episodes because it's like, okay, Fang saves Spear in this, like goes out of her way to save him, and like that means that they are bonded. They got it. They had to get over the snakes. They had to come together during the mammoths, and now they are together, and they will do anything to save each other. Now, what happens in episode 5?
Episode 5, Rage of the Ape Man, Jack. So this episode, it starts off, and I can't remember what exactly they are doing, but they get how did that start? I just watched this one. Oh, yeah. This is them going to that oasis. Mm-hmm. They find this nice, serene little waterfall, like little lake. The water. And they start swimming in it, and it's like their one moment of solitude. And Spear's in the water, and then he gets out, and he notices where's Fang. Fang's gone. Yeah,
there's footprints all over this beach.
And so he notices, they're simian footprints.
Yeah, I see. It's kind of look like mine.
Yeah, and so he begins to track. He begins to tracks along, and he comes across. Does he get captured? Yeah, he does get captured. Yeah.
Whacked. In the back of the head.
Yes.
And he's getting dragged, and he sees these much more monkey men than the last monkey men we saw.
It's baboons and gorillas.
Yeah. These
the other ones were like capuchins.
They're like capuchin monkeys. They're kind of they looked a little bit more human. These look like straight up apes. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's what these look like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they bring him, and he's all tied up on the wall of this Coliseum.
Yeah.
And you see these monkeys all surrounded in this Coliseum. They're all very excited. And this monkey shaman brings up a gorilla. No. These 2 gorillas start fighting.
3 gorillas.
3 gorillas? Yeah. Okay, and then one beats out the other 2.
The smallest one, too.
Yeah, the runt beats out the smallest 2, and then goes up to the monkey shaman, who gives him one single drop.
Down this very elaborate
Yeah, it's like one of those ice luges that they have at big fancy parties that I've seen in movies.
Sure,
Never been to one.
Of course, not yet.
But the ice luge, basically, and just one single drop of this black liquid gives it to the ape, and it goes full Hulk. Full Hulk gorilla.
Yeah.
And,
it turns into King Kong.
yeah.
Yeah, it turns into a giant, like, 30, 40-foot gorilla.
Yeah. And the pun intended, but also not really, because it is true. All the baboons go ape shit.
Yeah.
They're stoked. Especially because they have a couple
that kinda
things
stuff.
that can fight it.
That's right.
Including Fang. So
Fang.
they drop
First,
Fang.
The King Kong gorilla.
Fights a Triceratops,
He
right?
gets himself a mask. And what is it? It's a mammoth skull, a T-Rex skull, and a Triceratops skull.
All put into one. No, it's just a Triceratops skull.
Well, yeah, he like chooses between the three,
yeah.
and then he picks the Triceratops and puts it on. I was
Yeah.
like, that's
Now I'm
badass.
looking at it. Yeah,
Fuck
the Triceratops one was a great choice.
Though
Great choice.
either of the other two would have looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And yeah, so I mean,
we hadn't seen any Triceratops. yet.
come on.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
that's what you want.
Let's
in your
go.
life. Yeah,
And then they drop Fang in, and it's go time.
yeah,
And Fang puts up her best, and meanwhile, Spear's like, I gotta go help my buddy.
Yeah.
You know, she helped me. I gotta help her. We got each other's backs.
Yeah, and
But I'm
she
in all
doesn't
these
stand a
fucking
chance.
vines.
Yeah.
And Fang just starts getting whooped on. This gorilla is just it's mean how much it's manhandling. Like you gotta find something else way stronger to even make this entertaining. Like as a sports fan of the combat sports, you would be so bored if you just saw, I don't know who would be comparable to this.
yeah. It's like watching Francis Nganu, who's arguably going to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, who's a 275 pound man, 6'5", fight like Khabib. You know, Khabib is also a phenomenal, unbelievable top 5 fighter all time for sure.
Just such a
but
lower weight class. that it's-
155 pounds. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
275
impossible.
and 155 do not match.
No, it's a clear disadvantage.
120 pounds is a huge difference.
So, who was the guy? Nganu?
Nganu.
So we got Nganu versus Khabib here.
Yep.
And it's not going so well for Khabib. And
very poorly, very bad.
Spear gets the idea to chew through the vines, manages to get free. Meanwhile, the gorilla breaks Fang's leg. She's immobile, wailing on her and
like it.
just beating her to a bloody pulp. Spear climbs up, he's like, what can I do to help? And he looks up and he sees the shaman with that bowl of black stuff. And he starts climbing, and the baboons are just like, whoa. You can't fuck with this fight, man. You can't have interference.
That's not how we do things around here.
Yeah, in the
baboon community.
Yeah, in MFC, the Monkey Fighting Championship. And he climbs up there, immediately throws the shaman right off the top of the thing.
Yep.
And he's fighting the baboons, throwing him off, knocking him off. But they start to overwhelm him right as he gets to the bowl.
Yep.
And he drinks the whole thing.
Yeah. And you want to say someone hulks out? Oh, he literally he goes
He turns
full
green. He turns green, red eyes, and it's on.
Yeah, it's like if the Hulk fought King Kong, but the Hulk was bigger than King Kong.
Yeah. And so he just literally just bursts out of the monkey pile, jumps down, starts fighting this Triceratops fiend, and it's brutal.
Yeah. He fucks it up.
It fucks it up. He pounds it into mush,
Yeah.
Jack.
Again, very invincible.
Yeah, doesn't he stab it with its own horn?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then just pounds it into mush. And then the baboons are just like, what the fuck, man?
Yep. And then he just starts ripping them to
Yeah,
shreds.
I mean, the gore in this episode and the gore in the season finale of Invincible, you get to a point where you're just like, oh my God. You know, just like monkey's head's getting exploded in slow motion by being punched through. He's slamming them together and exploding them that way. Just, I mean, absolute carnage.
Yeah.
And they start retreating.
Simian slaughter.
Yeah. It gets to a point where it's like completely overwhelming. They start retreating. He's like, oh, not so fast. No. He goes after all of them, wipes out the entire ape kingdom.
Yeah.
And
it's given genocide.
It really is.
Yeah.
And by the next morning, he comes back down to size, but he's under an entire pile of carcasses. You know, it's absolute.
A potty of biles.
Yeah, a potty of biles, a body of piles, a pile of bodies. There we go. A pile of carcasses.
potty of
A
biles.
potty of biles, dude. Honestly, isn't that what a potty is?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You get bile in your body, you poop it out, or you throw it up into a potty.
I mean, he did.
Squatty potty. Yeah, yours today.
More sponsors.
Get yours today.
I mean, there were so many of those baboon bowels on the ground.
Yeah, the intestines, the guts, the bones, the skulls, the brains.
Yeah, it was
Littering the place.
Yeah,
Just painted
carnage.
the walls. I mean, this started off as a brown coliseum, ended up as a red coliseum.
capuchin carnage.
Yes. I mean, it was catastrophic. Catastrophic capuchin carnage.
Yeah.
Caterpillar carnage. Yes.
Carnage. Yeah.
I love just saying the wrong word.
It's my favorite.
It's so fun.
It's how you find the bit, you know. It's how you find the real bit.
Now that's how you just start laughing in my face. It's like,
Yeah.
hey man, I didn't plan on that. Embarrassing, man.
It's okay.
Give me a break.
Yeah, no, that's where they leave you halfway through the season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Fang is out cold, and they leave you there for a year. And I had to go rewatch that episode before I started the second half
course.
of season 1 because I was like, what happened again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Big whoops. And so episode 6 picks up where we left off, except vultures.
Yeah.
Vultures are coming in.
Don't like the vultures, dude. The
sir.
California condor is in trouble, but they are gross birds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are disgusting.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of Jeff Bezoses. And I mean, if you think about the way he operates, he basically vultures all these businesses.
A bit, and like going back to episode 2, that's what got Fang in trouble with Spirit first, was scavenging. you
Yeah.
know? Now Spear's got to protect Fang from scavengers. You know,
I mean, you can't scavenge a scavenger.
can't scavenge the scavenger. You know what I mean? It just
So
can't happen.
he comes up with a pretty ingenious little system.
Yep.
Digs a big old hole next to her, puts it down a bunch of sticks as like a rickshaw almost, rolls her over, manages to get out of there.
This is the human in him.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the ingenuity.
Watching this, I'm like, I would 100% do this for Winston, except it'd be a lot easier because he's a lot lighter.
yeah. You could probably carry Winston like out of
Oh,
the
I could probably
situation.
make a papoose.
Yeah.
A puppy papoose.
You can get him away from the vultures at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
And the just sheer determination and will that he had, because you knew he wasn't strong enough to lift that thing, but he makes himself strong
made it do
enough.
it, yeah.
And he manages to pull her out of the Coliseum, keeps going, gets away from the vultures, gets into the jungle, gets the tree coverage going. And then some ominous eyes start popping up.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good. Dude.
More scavengers. And they're just waiting. They're waiting for an opportunity. Except they're not attacking. But also, just because they were those round eyes at a distance and then you only saw the silhouette, it looked so creepy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
it looked like something that you'd see in like Conjuring or something like that. It's just something in the background, just hanging out there watching.
They're always watching you, Sam.
Always watching. AW.
I'll never forget one of the most dick moves I ever did when we lived at the house, but also it made me laugh. I don't know why.
Of course it did, Jack. It was a
Again,
dick move.
When I sell these things, I can't believe that I'm actually selling it. So like I'm so. So what happened was you, me, and Joey were on the porch smoking pot, right? And we had the covered back patio, and it was pretty dark outside of the glass, but we didn't have a big yard. Like there were hedges 3 feet away from the glass, but it was still.
that is quite an exaggeration. It was more like 9 feet.
Yeah, we'll say 6. All right.
Okay.
It was close. We didn't have much of a yard, but we were out there, we were smoking, and I was just like, I wonder if this will work. And I'm just like, oh my God, what was that? And you both were like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, I saw it. It's out there. And I had you guys for about 5 minutes.
You're an asshole.
You guys,
Because that's the thing. That's what fear is the unknown.
yep. And I played it up too because you were like,
Well, we were stoned off our fucking asses, man.
and you're going, I think you asked me like, what did you see? And I'm like, I don't know. Like that's. You could buy yourself so much more time with that answer.
I don't know.
You could speculate 10 things and be like, oh my God. It's like, oh, no, never mind. So I know exactly what you're talking about with these eyes.
You're an asshole. Keep that in mind, people. Jack is an asshole.
Maybe it's just because I see demons all the time, but it's whatever,
You are a demon.
Yeah,
You go and hang out with them.
we wave to each other to be polite. Okay, we got a job to do here.
We hang out,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
We kick it.
we're both in this. We're all in the struggle. We get it. We throw ourselves a, what's up, Me and the fellow demons out there.
Any Catholic priests out here want to exorcise this guy? Send
Me
him back
and
to
Ted
hell?
Danson are so tight. It's
Oh, you know
crazy.
what, Jack? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
His
call...
real name is Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to call Cecil, and you're going back to hell.
Oh, jeez. I'll take.
You and Damien are going to have to kick it.
I know Hellboy and the Ron Perlman Hellboy too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the Dave Harbor one?
I mean, like we've talked, but he's and I like him, but he doesn't have good taste.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't pick good projects.
doubt.
Well, he picks good. Doesn't matter.
So anyway, Spear brings Fang to a cave.
That's right.
Totally barricades her up, and then goes out to fight this, now it's grown in numbers, pack of jackals.
Yeah, jackal hyena things.
Yeah.
I liked them.
They're high jackals.
Yeah. Hey, jackals. Hey, jackals.
I like high jackals.
Hi, jackals.
High jackals.
I just progressively just go from high jackals, jackals, hyena jackals,
Hyena
jackals.
jackals. Hyenicals.
Hyenicals. Yeah, I like that.
Hyenicals.
They're
Sounds
surrounded
like
by hyenicals. Yep.
So the high jackals show up.
Yep.
And he's slaughtering the shit out of a lot of them. He's really doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, we got to think. What
But
have we fought? We fought King Kong.
we don't really
We
see
fought
the
giant
numbers. We
bats.
don't see the carnage. We're in Fang's POV, and all you can see is just like shadows moving around the rocks. And then all of a sudden, the top of the cave opens. In slides Spear, and he's covered in a bunch of scratches.
Yeah. Yeah.
He needed to retreat. He was like, "Oof!" So it started to get a little hairy out there. Just a little too much for me. And Fang just still can't stand up yet.
No.
You know, she's doing fine. She's eating, she's drinking, but she still can't stand up quite yet. And they hang out there for a little while, and then he goes back out.
Yep.
And then she's just like, all right, if he goes back out there again, he's going to die. I gotta get up.
gotta
And she
do
gets up, busts out the door, and so they just start wiping them out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wiping them out, and they get away.
You know how they do. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's episode 6.
It's a good one.
Good to see them come back.
Yeah. Brings them back. It's a healing episode. The hyena jackals.
It was a nice little...
The hyenicals are cool.
it's funny because there's no episode of this show that's a break.
No.
But this is the best you get because it's right in between two of the most like disgustingly vicious episodes. So
Yeah.
you got the Ape Man one, and then you had the Plague of Madness episode.
Yeah.
And that was so disgusting, so disturbing. Tell us what happened, Jack.
Okay, let's see. Because this one I've only seen once. So.
Okay, I can tell you then.
Yeah.
It starts off with this Brachiosaurus just chomping down on some leaves, enjoying its time. And this little it kind of looks like a duckbill comes running out,
That's right.
and
I
it's
thought it was
like
Triceratops.
leaking. Yeah, it was like leaking green goo from its mouth. Its eyes are all orange and bloodshot,
Right.
and it's coughing and running around, and it's looking at it like, ew,
Yeah. Ugh.
ugh,
Get away from me.
get away from me. Yeah.
Okay, ugh.
And then the thing just like runs around, stops by its leg, and then just goes, chomps on it, and he steps on it, kills it.
Hashtag zombies.
Yeah. And much like the montage that takes quite a while, like the mammoth one, you see this Brachiosaurus go through the paces of getting infected with this disease, starts turning green, it starts getting sick. It just can't fucking deal, man.
Can't handle it.
And it gets to this drinking hole with the other brachios and starts drinking from it. And it sees its reflection. It sees it's fucked up. It doesn't know what to do. I mean, the bite itself is so infected. It's disgusting.
Yep. It's
And then it just starts vomiting. Vomiting and vomiting and vomiting all in the water source. So I was like, oof, it's going to infect many. No. They don't get the chance to drink the infected water because this thing, its eyes turn that crazy orange, and it just starts massacring the brachios, dude. In such horrific ways, like breaking their legs out of their bone, like the bone snaps through the skin, biting their necks, just destroying.
You know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, dude.
God, and, it was horrifying because
Big-
you're just like
Think of
watching
a
it.
giraffe and an elephant put
You're
together.
watching it too because they're
Watch it
so
fall.
scared, and
Yeah.
you feel their fear, and you're just like, oh, this is so horrible. This is so horrible.
Yeah. And it's just like, again, it's this disease. There's no reason that this is happening.
Yeah,
other
there's
than
no
it just
sinister
happened.
means. It's just nature happened to take that sinister form.
Yeah, yeah. And it's pretty brutal.
It's very brutal and
Pretty brutal.
pretty brutal. Yeah, and I couldn't really handle that scene. It was so bad because you felt so bad. And also, the thing doesn't want to be doing that. It is completely feral. But then it gets to a point that it's like, oh no, it knows what it's doing and it wants to kill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It really wants to
At
kill.
this point, it is the
Whatever that
disease.
disease is, it wants to kill. Its drive is entirely to kill things.
It's not to spread. It is to murder.
Yeah.
It is to destroy.
Yeah, it's not like zombie. It's not wanting to procreate itself. It's not trying to infect more. Yeah, it's trying to kill.
Yeah.
And Spear and Fang come across this carnage, and they're like, what the fuck could have done this? Oh, boy.
This looks like some Wuhan lab shit. You know?
Yeah, seriously. We're like COVID BC, you know what I'm saying? That was good. That was good. Snaps. But anyway, they go investigating, but they're just like, you know what? We're gonna leave this.
Yeah,
we have no idea what higher powers have done
Step
this.
away from this. Yeah.
Our best bet is to flee.
Yeah, not be in the area. Yeah, Spear and Fang this half of the season are much better at just getting out of the way. They definitely don't overstay their welcome, but they do get into trouble a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, because inevitably they run into the thing.
of course.
And the thing gives chase,
Yep.
and or it takes chase while they give chase. The person in front is always giving the chase. The person behind is taking the chase.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the hardest time figuring that out until I put my brain to it.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're running away, you're not taking much.
Gives chase, but if you are chasing someone, you're giving them a chase, right?
No, you're taking chase.
So you're taking chase, but you're also giving them.
They give you a chase, then you're taking it.
That's but what if you initiated the chase?
You give
know?
them a scare.
Yeah. Okay. There's some semantics here I need to iron out, but I like where your brain's at.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. A caveman and a T-Rex are running away from a zombie brontosaurus.
They give chase, and it gives it takes chase, and it is a motherfucker. It is resilient. It is tenacious. It is an unstoppable killing machine. In the form of a herbivore of all things.
Yeah.
It turned straight carnivore, started eating its own people.
Shit, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yep. And
It's a hard world we live in.
yeah, they get chased all over the place. They get chased through the jungle. They get chased into rock faces. They get chased into a canyon.
Into a volcanic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a volcanic.
Ultimately into a volcano.
Yeah.
Because they get it stuck, and they're like, okay, good, we got through that, and it's like ripping its own body apart, its rotting body apart, trying to get after them. It manages to get through.
Yeah.
It's still managed. It's like it ripped its like neck and sides. It's like exposed organs and bones. There's no way this thing functionally can be alive. It's kind of like
This dinosaur's name was Resilience.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Devora in Mortal Kombat. It's all these bugs controlling one body. She's not just with Devora. It's a lot of things in her.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of what it's going. It's using the body as a puppet, basically. It's like Oogie Boogie in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right. Well, I mean,
all bugs.
Isn't it really just like us in a sense? Aren't we just a bunch
yeah.
of electros,
Bacteria.
electro-firings in a mesh of blah?
Microorganisms.
Operating a meat puppet, you know?
I know.
Listen, dude, what is Primal? It is that brontosaurus, okay? It is that brontosaurus's diseased life, okay? That's what the show is.
Sure. not really sure how you got to that, but
Because, man, I don't either. I
no,
don't know.
you wanted to say something.
I haven't talked in a long time. I'm just kidding. Anyway, keep going.
You know what, Jack? You shot your shot, man.
Yeah, I'm getting.
You got to take a shot.
Get a little daisy.
Listen to me, you little shit.
Listen to you, little shit. And they manage to keep running, and they get to a volcano, and they're like, "This is the really only thing we can get to kill this thing with." And they put it in the volcano, and they kill it
That's how you kill a zombie dinosaur.
with lava,
Yeah,
magma.
tends to work every time.
And then we get to episode 8, Jack, which was the creepiest episode. You thought the blood moon one with the bats was creepy?
Oh yeah.
No, this one's creepier.
You know, this one's definitely got some horror movie vibes. There's
It's
no
got
doubt
a
about that.
cult in it. It's got a cult with a ritual with a spirit and a witch.
They're all old ladies. It's cool.
Yeah, but it's super disturbing.
Yeah.
They basically kidnap other Neanderthals, string them up, and then this spirit that looks it kind of looks like Mothman to me a little bit. Mothman with antlers,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, I can see that.
You know, and
It rides a pterodactyl.
yeah, and it comes in and just sucks the life force out of this guy and turns it into a baby. It puts the energy ball into its body, grows it, and gives it to one of the old ladies, because the old ladies, I guess, are infertile and they all want babies.
They need babies.
And
Continue the line.
yeah. And there's this one in particular. I don't know if they have a name for her. Lula. They gave a name Lula.
Nice. I like it.
And while Fang and Spear are watching, they accidentally make their presence known to the pterodactyl. And the pterodactyl comes in and steals Spear.
Yeah.
Captured again. These two can't just can't get it right.
They're like the goddamn dwarves in The Hobbit.
Yeah, always getting captured. Always getting
man.
captured.
All day, every day.
Yeah, and Fang tries to help, and then Lula hops on and casts a spell, and Fang is of no use anymore. It's totally possessed.
Yep.
And so Spear is strung up. Lula comes up, starts drawing all the runes on him, and she really notices because he yells out to Spear or Fang, and Fang kind of snaps out of the trance a little bit, and she's like, "What the fuck was that? Nothing gets through my magic."
Right.
So she pauses them, basically, like pauses time, and then opens up a portal and jumps into their memories and sees what happened in episode 1, which traumatizing to revisit, very traumatizing to revisit. And she understood. She understood that they suffered incredible loss of children, and that's why they have this bond. And she didn't want to get in the way of it because, as we come to see later, through her drawing a circle and jumping into her own memory and watching it, she had a daughter from this process and loved it immensely. And they were out picking flowers in the field, and you just look at it and you're just like, oh, these are actually pretty peaceful people. There's nothing like too sinister about it. And the daughter goes walking off while Lula's picking the flowers, and all of a sudden you hear a scream, and then you hear a splat, and baby's gone. Yeah. She doesn't get another one. You blew it.
You blew it.
And all
Baby
the
fell
other
off a cliff.
all the other bitches, the witch bitches, are just real cunty about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really mean to her.
Yeah, that's support groups.
Yeah.
You've got very low moral, camaraderie at this place.
No, none whatsoever,
None
honestly.
at all. Yeah.
And like they were when they got the baby from the first guy, they're looking at it and she's showing it off, and then she's like, "Hey, can I see?" And they're like, "Get away from us, you fucking loser! You're gonna kill my baby too."
Right.
So unfortunately, but because of that, she starts to have a second idea. But the ritual's beginning.
It is.
The ritual's beginning. The little
pterodactyl's back.
The antler witch comes sliding down. The creepy spindly thing comes sliding down.
Right.
The pterodactyl's back, and Spear's still strung up. Fang's still possessed.
Not good.
Until all of a sudden, Fang wakes up.
A little help from reality, huh?
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
And she springs into action.
Yeah. Let's go,
And
Lula.
the antler Mothman really is not having it. Starts screaming and turns into a wolf.
Yep. Big wolf.
Big old wolf.
Yeah. You want to know what happens when a T-Rex fights a wolf? This show happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff certainly happens.
It's cool. There's a lot of fangs, a lot of gnashing. It's pretty cool.
Very fun. But Fang can't get out, or Spear can't get out. And then all the other witches, they scattered.
Yep.
They're scattered.
Yeah. Lula kills the pterodactyl, right?
Yeah, Lula kills the pterodactyl.
She stabs it right through the fucking neck.
Yep.
That's how you get rid of a demon pterodactyl. You
That's
stab
exactly
it through the neck.
how.
Mhm.
That's exactly how. And then she goes and lets Spear out, or Fang comes over and rips off his vines. I can't remember which one.
He's saved.
Because she starts fighting the witch on the pterodactyl. Kills the pterodactyl. The witch is still there. And she gives Spear and Fang the opportunity to leave. And the witch turns back into the wolf. And all you see is Lula, and then the wolf snarling at her. And then the next thing you see is her with her daughter again. And you just about fucking bawl your damn eyes out. For how creepy that episode was, it was like really goddamn hard to watch.
Again, just superhuman moments within
And
the creepiness.
the visual storytelling is so powerful because you didn't have to see it. You just had to know, well, she's reunited with her daughter.
Well, and creepiness for creepiness' sake, I think it's old. I think a lot of horror
I thought
movies
this was
are proving
creative
that.
creepiness.
Well, and that's the thing is like half of it's super creepy and super intense and just like unknown and mysterious, and then the other half is about one of the creepy people being a person and like having emotion and feeling and stuff like that. So this
Yeah,
creepiness
there are
means
no,
something,
aside from the apes, really, there are no real sinister characters. Everybody, it's like a good, true villain.
Yeah.
They don't think they're the bad guy.
Yeah, they're
they
either
never
an
do.
animal or they just have no.
They're just trying to do their thing.
yeah, exactly. They're just existing. Yeah,
And they get away, though.
they do. They got some help.
They got some help, and
R.I.P. Lula.
R.I.P. Lula.
Yeah.
You was a real one.
He was a real
He
one.
was a real one.
Indeed.
Cap, no cap. And then, Jack, we got the Night Feeder.
Yeah, the Night Feeder.
Night Feeder. That one was just super intense because you couldn't see anything.
Well, exactly. Like there was a story to it, but it was like so. Again, it was another one of these really long. Basically, all you need to know is, through this episode, something that we're in the point of view of is like just slashing shit through the night. I mean,
it's
just
killing.
cutting down triceratops, cutting down all these different animals.
Yeah, we see a POV and it's just slashing through the
kills
shit.
a saber-tooth tiger,
and it's not there to eat.
Yep.
It's just killing everything it can. Just everything it can.
And Spear and Fang, they got the fire going, but they feel this thing's presence, and they're getting nervous, and they're feeling it getting closer. And as the episode goes, it just clearly builds that line of tension more and more. The creature's getting closer. The fires aren't staying on as long, all this different stuff. And then the impending chase comes. And, it's rare that you see, Fang and Spear, on their heels. You know what I mean? They are sprinting away from this thing. We're mostly seeing it through the perspective of the Night Slasher. And yeah, it builds and builds and builds. And I forget exactly what happens specifically, but then it's what is it? Is it in the same moment where, shit, I can't remember. How do they figure out? Oh, he slashes and it starts a fire. That's right.
Yeah. No, he's hitting some rocks with the flint tip spear and it's kicking off sparks. And so, oh shit! Oh my god!
Live on camera.
Oh my god, Dad! Jesus Christ!
I didn't know how to say anything, and I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah, fuck you, Jack.
I was like, I don't know if he'll do the tap. I don't know. I was too busy trying to think of flint and stone making fire.
Yeah.
Don't be sorry about that, Dave.
Hey, you're on the podcast, though.
That was DMT Gold.
Yeah.
That was one of the best moments of the show.
Oh my god. Jesus.
You want to talk about fear? We bring fear on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we were really intensely into this thing, and
We just did the cult one. We're doing the Night Slasher one. It makes sense, It's one of those
the
situations.
Night Feeder,
The Night
it doesn't
Feeder.
really feed on anything.
It slashes. It only slashes.
It's sport killing everything.
And the whole thing is it's got the claws. So they
those
figure
really
out the
long,
fire.
creepy fingernail claws. Yeah.
And they basically set a perimeter of fire, close this thing in. They're able to kill it. And what is it? It's basically like a big velociraptor with big
long claws,
Yep.
and then they just burn it alive.
They burn it alive, and that's how you get rid of that
But
thing.
the intensity, I mean, like I said early on, we're not doing any of these episodes justice because you just got to watch it to experience it. But holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. If you haven't turned this podcast off and gone and started watching this already,
Fuck's wrong with you?
What are you doing?
Fuck's wrong with you?
But we're on the last episode, so let's
We are
get
on the
into
last
it.
episode. Slave of the Scorpion.
Slave of the Scorpion, man.
And
What an interesting episode.
I know.
Yeah, what a good one.
So it opens with
They're swimming.
they're swimming, right?
They're out in the open sea. They're having a good time, and I love this because
They're getting attacked by a croc.
it's what do you call them?
Leopleurodon.
Is that what they are? They're the crocodile whale things, the dinosaurs.
What are they called? Well, there's
Mosasaurus?
Mosasaurus. Yeah, there's Mosasaurus and Leopleurodons. They're basically
Same thing?
it's like gators and crocs.
Gotcha. And I love, that's one of my favorite moments in Jurassic World. That's my favorite moment in Jurassic World is when T-Rex pushes Indominus Rex into the thing's jaws, and then it eats it.
It just chomp.
Love it. And so we got a little mosasaur in this.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part of Jurassic World was when that British lady who Bryce Dallas Howard put in charge of the kids, even though she has no background in childcare, gets picked up by the pterodactyl, snagged a bunch, whipped around in the air, and then just all of a sudden it just comes up and eats the pterodactyl with her in it. And then it's like, what did they do to her?
Yeah, why
Like,
her?
what did she do to deserve this?
She got the same level of a death as the Indominus Rex, who was like the bad guy of the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Vincent D'Onofrio got a better death.
Yeah. Vincent D'Onofrio got killed off screen.
Yeah. Irfan Khan had a funnier death, but
Right.
still not as brutal
Yeah.
for how dumb of a guy he was.
Yeah, that felt real personal to that actress. That
Yeah.
felt real personal.
Yeah, it's like what was it, Pete? I can't remember the character's name, like Nora or something. But the pitch meeting, he's just like he describes that entire scene, and he goes, "Oh wow, what did she do to deserve that? Oh, nothing. Hey, don't you have an ex-girlfriend named Nora? What? No."
What?
No. I don't know why you would think that.
Killer.
Ron
Absolute
George. Killer.
Oh my God. See how this thing comes up? It's attacking something. What is it? It's a person, dude. It's a person. It's a human being. It's a bald lady.
Yeah.
It's a bald lady with a tattoo and a bunch of shackles on her neck.
Yeah,
and
scorpion.
wrists.
She's got a.
Big old like.
It kind of looks like a stockade that you walk
Yeah.
around with.
I was gonna say it's like I've seen them in like ancient movies. People wear them and they're all like chained together and stuff
Slaves,
like that. Yeah.
yes. Typical slave guard, the
Lots of slave
chains,
stuff.
the loincloth,
Ancient slaves, yeah. not
the
good.
sad look
Yeah.
for being subjugated
But-
against her will.
But she's interesting to see next to Spear because they
Mira.
they get rid of this dinosaur from the sea. They get back on land, and Mira is running away. She's like, I gotta get away from this T-Rex and this guy. I gotta get away. And Spear's like, wait, I want to meet you. And he's like chasing after her.
Hey, you have a vagina. I like that smell.
Oh, I haven't smelled this in a while.
I'm ready to crush some butt.
Yeah, and I
haven't crushed butt in a while.
I feel like this is going to be a big thing. This butt crushing thing. I want to get in on it. So you see her and you see him, and you really do see the difference between that ape and that human. And what I love, because they're setting up clearly that she's going to be a part of season 2. And I think what it's going to be is, Spear having to basically join human society. It's like the Jungle Book, he's going to go join human society, but he's going to feel the pull from Fang to live that primal, natural lifestyle.
Yeah, a little bit more civilized.
And he's going to have to find that balance, Yeah.
That would be interesting as hell.
Yeah, I love it. I
Because then
think
it
it's
would
a timeless
be a
tale.
challenge to the title.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And
Because through this episode, basically all that really
yeah,
happens.
her trust for him grows. He breaks her shackles, breaks that stockade thing on her neck, and sets her free. And then they start working together and hunting and all that. And then she starts talking to him in this made-up language. And that's like the only dialogue in the entire series,
Yeah.
and it's all made-up language. But you could still understand her.
Yeah, she's like drawing stuff out on the sand with a stick, and like the way she is saying these made up words, you're getting the story.
It makes me feel like language barriers are only as resistant as you are to the language.
Yeah, I mean,
you can pick up what somebody's putting down without understanding what they're saying.
Yeah, you can get a vibe, and especially like if you can trust each other, and even to the point of the octopus. I feel like any living creature that can just be like, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like if we can do that, and we can connect on that level, there's trust, and you can have some semblance of communication, whether it's verbal or not. That's super effective. And I think, with foreign language, it's the same. You just have to like look someone in the eye and try and be like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Because I know our minds are doing the same thing, but we just can't do it with our mouths. Sure, that doesn't have to stop us,
Yeah.
And that's what this whole episode was about.
And she tells the story through stick drawings and shows that her tribe was kidnapped and forced into slavery. She managed to escape. And they kind of looked like Mongols a little bit.
Yeah.
She drew the symbol. It was like half moon, half sun. And, showed him that. And he's like, I have no fucking clue what you're
He's
talking
like,
about.
Interesting.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. And then he wakes up and she's gone.
Gone.
But they didn't go for him.
Yeah.
They're just like, "Poof, we're not keeping him in chains.
Him and the T-Rex can stay asleep. Don't want to mess with them.
We just want Mira.
Yeah, we want the one that got away.
Yep. And so we see a ship sailing off into the sunset, and we see the flag. We see the insignia that she drew.
Yeah.
And that Spear's got to go get his next boo thing.
Dude, I mean, she taught him how to cook, so it's like,
That's
he's got to go
true.
find her.
That's
He's
true.
got to go get her back.
All in all, seriously, this is a solid fucking 10 of a show,
Phenomenal,
dude.
yeah.
I mean, it's storytelling in a way that we never thought possible.
It's an easy watch, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, well, it's not easy, but like, 10 episodes, 20 minutes a pop of really good story.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch.
It's not
exactly.
easy, yeah.
It's a quick watch, not an easy watch.
You might not want to binge it, but you can.
Yeah, sometimes you might have to take a break. It's like me with Black Mirror, or like you said, the Destroy All the Brutes.
Exterminate all the brutes.
Exterminate all the brutes. Yeah, you can only watch like a little bit at a time.
You just need to. You need
but
to
they
let it
are
sink
quick
in with
enough
you.
that you can watch all 5 of the first ones and just be like,
yeah.
where is my head at the rest of the day?
Exactly. Yeah. Who do I become after this information?
It's incredible. I mean, just go check it out. If you made it this far in the podcast and you haven't checked it out, get your HBO and see what we're talking about. Because even though we did do the broad brushstrokes of what were the beats of the episodes, like we got through certain episodes and like bing, bang, boom, because it all plays out in ways that we can't really describe.
Yeah.
You know,
it should be seen. It has to be seen. Yeah.
And yeah, it must.
We talked about it because we wanted to nerd out about it.
Yeah.
This is not the way to consume it. Okay. You need to see the real thing.
You've got to see the real thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it won several Emmys.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let me see what it got. Won 3 Emmys.
Damn.
If this would load.
You know, the Oscars and the Grammys, I feel like are getting jaded every year. But like, I feel like the
Emmys and Golden Globes are fine.
Yeah, like it's just hard to like deny good television. Like it's really hard to deny a really good
I
TV
think
show.
that we should just ditch the Oscars. I think the Oscars are only held in such high esteem because it's a Hollywood.
Well, you know what
award.
It was too. It was a fucking like a promotion to get people to go see movies.
Yes.
That's why they started the Oscars.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we need to pick the greatest of all. It was like, we need to get people to go see these.
I think the Golden Globes are the highest accolade because it celebrates television and movies, gives best pictures in drama and comedy and musical, and it's from the Associated Press. So it's a worldwide organization that votes for these instead of just a bunch of old dudes in Hollywood. You know? So outstanding individual achievement in animation for the pilot. It won 2 for that same thing, for that same episode. I guess 2 trophies go to Genndy and Adult Swim, and then it's Genndy gets 1. Scott Willis, the producer at Adult Swim, I think he's the head of Adult Swim, gets another because he's the producer. So that's that.
I see.
And then outstanding achievement in animation for A Cold Death, the Mammoth episode.
Oh, for a cold death. What a specific award.
I know. Well, no, that's what the episode was called. No.
I was like,
For A Cold Death. Yeah, no.
They really executed Arctic death, a frozen tundra death scene.
There's nothing
better
more
than
suited
anyone
for this
year.
award.
There has never been a project more fitting to win this. We put this,
Never since Hoth.
we put this out for 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Hoth, we got The Revenant, we got Primal.
And otherwise, we had to really reach for it.
Bucky Barnes actually did win the award in 2011. Fun fact for people.
Yeah,
A Cold Death Award from the
like-
Primetime Emmys.
I was like, wow, animation can get real
Yes.
specific. Anyway.
Oh, but anyway.
Yeah.
I fucking love that show. I can't wait for season 2. I hope it doesn't take another full fucking year.
And
But
even
it probably
if does, though,
it will probably be in October
Yeah.
around that time when it comes back.
But if it's this good, hey, give it to me when you can.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
Take it 80 all day.
AD all day. What was the outro song you wanted to get me going on, Jack?
I mean, wait, what was it? It's Scandinavians, and it's called Sunset Beach.
Sunset Beach. Let's pull up Sunset Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, Susnet Beach. There we go.
Susnet.
It's Super Susnet.
This is Susnet.
Sunset Beach.
I request elaboration.
I just like that one.
I do too.
It's like hearing, Paul Bettany as an android. The world likes hearing.
Well, we need more
It is
now. Now that we got the vision.
the vision,
All right, here we go.
the wonderful vision of Oz.
All right, that does it for this week's episode of DMT Reviews. Go ahead, rate, subscribe. Like I said at the top, check out bestworstcantina.com for all the merch, all the episodes of both this and DMT Don't Miss This podcast.
That's right.
All that saxophone, baby.
You know I love it.
Check us out on the socials. Email us at dmtpcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Same thing on Instagram. I'm SammyB_DMT. He's Silverback Sasquatch 1162. Take it sleazy, Mayor McCheesy. We love you guys. And keep it primal.
Bye, guys.